Welcome to Rewild, where we burn the rules, remember our magic, and live by design, not default. I'm your host, Kayleen Jean, here to guide you home to your natural rhythm, your truth, and your freedom. Let's do this. To Rewild. I am so grateful that you are here. If you have listened to me a long time, thank you. If you're just finding this, welcome. I am so excited about this new direction I'm going to be taking and I want to talk all about it, really. Like, what the heck does this mean? And what am I going to do moving forward? I talked so much, I feel like in August in that time frame about authenticity and really wanting to be more myself and share things that really light me up and more stories and be more vulnerable and things like that. So I had actually had a little reading done. Oh my gosh, it was like July or something. Because it's always fun to get yourself a reading. To sit back and receive and not have to do anything, which is always really fun. And I love getting channeled readings. I mean, it's always like, take what resonates and kind of just the other stuff, save it for later. A lot of the times it makes more sense later too. You know, she had brought up my podcast and business, and it's like, well, why isn't it essentially like popping off or something? And it's not like I'm trying to go viral or anything. Like, I'm literally trying to just attract the women that need my assistance in this lifetime. But she's like, I see a lot more traction when you're like really being authentic and just like more bold and enough of the like fluff. And this is not the first time that I've heard like, it's too fluff, you know, it's not really like you. I've met people and they were just like, or talking to them over Zoom or something too, and it's like, oh my gosh, you're like way funny in person. And not, I like, it doesn't always portray that way online, and I'm getting way better at it. I can definitely tell, like, me taking videos of myself now is completely different than, you know, a few years back. I hated being on the camera, but now it's almost like, okay, I'm just like owning this persona, this boss, mystical witch that is here to share these things. And I have so much knowledge. And my gosh, okay, it'll be a tangent, but it's like me digging into my really learning about myself, and that's part of the rewild. So okay, let's talk about like rewild. This word came up in a session and I really liked it. And honestly, there's nothing I Googled. Sometimes, like when I did aligned and stuff, I'm like, okay, yeah, some people do aligned with blah, 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 and like finding alignment or align whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that is kind of just like boring. Like, I'm not feeling it anymore. Like, I am a Sagittarius rising. I need a little like spice, a little fire, a little feisty. And aligned with Kayleen was just kind of it served its purpose, but it just like, in order for me to really take on this next level, I knew I needed to change something there. So when Rewild came up, I did look it up. I don't know, there's like maybe one podcast or something. I don't know if I didn't look into it that much. I'm like, okay, there's not like a lot out there. And like, this podcast is really going to be just like encompassing rewilding yourself and like finding your authentic truth, like coming back to nature. So like, rewild basically means to return to our more natural or wild state, is like the dictionary definition. I looked it up. Or I like restore to its natural state, which is so important because you probably don't understand. I was gonna say how fucked up you like, not like you, but like your ego or your mask or like this character that you're playing is not even the real you. It took me, like years to kind of figure that out. And it's like, oh my gosh, like all the stuff I had been conditioned to do or think that that was right for me or just going along because that's what everyone else did. I did what I was quote unquote supposed to do, and I was still like, okay, like I'm happy, but I know there's more, and I know there are other things I'm passionate about. And don't get me started on, how jobs are set up right now. And I'm not trying to knock 9 to 5s because there are very important things that people do and people that do enjoy what they do. And that is amazing. But I really hope to see like there is going to be a shift. And I know it's like, and for there to be a shift, things need to crumble. And I think the majority of us want to move to a more like, almost like feminine and intuition based type of businesses. And like there's like I know there's going to be the rise of like a lot of female entrepreneurs and just doing business differently, and we don't have to work fucking Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and be really, productive and logistics and numbers and blah 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 and like men bullshit. Do not get me wrong. We need the masculine. We all of us, whether male or female, you need both in order to have like just a healthy balance. And I mean that can be part of rewilding too, is like getting more into your feminine, because I know a lot of women, myself included, just like so hyper masculine and like getting shit done and just like that boss babe mentality, and just really never like it's always logic. It's never intuition. And that had got me to where I, like for instance, like with the career and everything. Like yeah, I was good at that. I was following the rules, I was checking the boxes, I was making their shit better because nothing made sense. And um it just wasn't fulfilling. And it's just like I knew like my spleen was like, okay, this is not a line for you. And then, yeah, then you get down a rabbit hole and then you end up doing Akashic Records readings in your office and all kinds of fun stuff. But my Rewild journey, how I really have seen it come like to fruition and really feel like I'm embodying it more than ever is, well, I just started trusting myself more. Like that was probably one of the most important things, is like starting to trust your intuition. And even if what you wanted or what you wanted to do was maybe opposite of how you would have felt a few in the past, or opposite of what other people in your life may think about it, that's okay. And you will notice that once you go down the realm of trusting yourself and what you want, things start to flow better, I feel like. And it's not like you're pushing up against the wall or just like making things trying to happen, it's more just like, okay, I'm gonna trust myself because I'm, my higher self, my guides, God source is just, they're gonna pull me in the right direction. And I just have to trust that everything is going to work out for me the way, like, to what I desire or better. Most of the time it's better. Most of the time it's like you can't even fathom how the pieces fell into place. Like you wouldn't have figured it out looking backwards, but or looking forwards, excuse me. But when you look backwards, it's like, oh my gosh, if I wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have gone here and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, you have to start in this moment now. Like, you can't be in the future. You cannot be in the past. You have to be the here and now, and you can't fucking freak out about the future all the time and what's going to happen. And you can't, be sad about the past all the time, because the only moment you truly have is now. And it's like, what action steps can you take now? Like, yes, it is important to think about what you want for your future, do a little visualization, a little daydreaming, things like that. But don't get like stuck in that and forgetting that, like, you're here right now. Like, what would that version of you that has all that stuff, what would she be doing right now in order to get there? And it doesn't have to be these crazy action items. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could just be like, okay, I see myself owning my own business right one day, and I just want to have a podcast and things like that. So like, where are you now? Like, are you working for someone else? Like, what would you want to do? Like, what would you want to help others? Because a business ain't about making money. It's about who are you serving, and you're like, why, and what you're passionate about. The money will flow when you have those things in place. But the big question, and this has been very important for myself too, the big question is like, why are you doing this, and who are you serving? So, I mean, if that's the kind of path that you want to go down, that's great. Just like start small, start at those small steps, and like start posting or start doing whatever aligned with doing or what your soul is calling to do. And it's really important to, make those decisions based on your authority in human design. And I could go down a rabbit hole there. But before we get into that, another step with like rewilding is you're going to have to decondition yourself. You are going to have to take out all of basically everything you ever learned to a point. It's going to have to fall away. You want new ways of thinking. You want to have more of a wealth consciousness and not a poverty mindset. You want to think of your body as strong, beautiful, really healthy. And then, as opposed to like, I don't like how I look, and I'm fat, and I'm in this, I'm that. Dude, your words are so magical. Your words are fucking spells. Stop talking like that. I have to remind myself all the time too, but it's like, I am so conscious about what I say now. I catch myself a lot too. It's hard. It is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, the deconditioning, the shadow work, and all that shit, it is hard, but it is worth it. Like, when you can get to a point where you are more confident, you see the world differently, and you're like, oh my gosh, we really are just like, we're here and we're one, and this is like, what a cool time to be on the planet Earth right now. Like, we're shifting and we're moving into more of that unity consciousness, as opposed to just this like lack mentality and like, I don't know, just like, I just like kind of call it the ick, and just like the victim mindset and the poor me. Like, it's not empowered. Like, being rewild is being empowered in your choices and what you're doing and how you are here to serve others, like, in turn, doing what's best for yourself as well. Like, with me, I don't even know where to start. Like, all of the different things I have done to decondition, just learning, reading. Oh my God, if you're not reading, start. Well, I'm going to make a list. I'm going to make a list because we like lists, because my Virgo 10th house. For my business, I'm going to make a list of books that I think are super important to read or listen to. I have books that I've already read multiple times because it just like changes your mindset. And especially, I don't know about you, but I've lived in the same state. I live 15 minutes away from the town I was born. Like, I have not, like, yes, I have traveled a bit, not, no, traveled a little. But most of my life has been like Iowa and people from Iowa. And let me tell you, it can definitely, like looking at where I am now, it's hard not to, sometimes it's hard to not get annoyed and like frustrated with other people when you're like, oh my gosh, but the world is so expansive and you really need to open your mind. But like there's, set of people that could be like stuck in their ways and that's fine. And then like, you have to have grace. Like being frustrating and mad is not going to help you. Like those are the vibes we don't want anyway. So it's like, okay, I'm always taking those situations as like, I'm just giving grace and I am going to, maybe that's what their soul chose in this lifetime and maybe that's their soul needed. We cannot help anyone. I know you want to, and I know I want to sometimes. But we cannot help everyone. And also, we can't like save other people. It's not your job to do that. It is, it might be your job to, you know, guide people towards a certain path or a different way of thinking or, figure out how they can embody their astrology, their human design, their gene keys. Like, what are we missing here and what do we need to change so you can live more in the flow and feel more aligned and like authentically you and you're just like fucking happy because you're like, oh my God, this is my life. And that's where we want to be. So, oh my gosh, reading. I was talking about reading. Like, where do we go from here? We were talking about reading because we were talking about my own journey with deconditioning and shadow work and things like that. Reading, taking different courses from people. And it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to spend oodles of money to receive different perspectives from other people. There are some like really low cost options. That was a fuzz. That wasn't an orb. But I mean, if you want to like get into the nitty gritty, that was an orb. I highly recommend like investing in maybe like a group mentorship program of something that excites you and you're passionate about, or one-on-one containers. The biggest shifts I have ever had are like one-on-one containers with other women who I basically looked up to. It's like, okay, her business is amazing. It is similar to something maybe I would want to do down the road. And it's like, okay, if she got there and like, you really like their vibe and everything, and you're like, oh my gosh, if she got to that place, maybe she can help me. I mean, if they were the type of person that offers mentorship, like, and you're like, okay, that's great. That was like the most transformative work for me because one, it was like, it was intensive. But two, like when you're doing healings with the Akashic records or, like Reiki or any energy healing or clearing, it's like, that's like fucking instant. And it's not gonna like, your life's not gonna just like, it's not like a magic bubble's gonna pop off or something. But it's just like, that is going to like, during the session, you could definitely feel it or you're gonna feel it in the couple days after. Trust me. That's why water is our friend. But having those, sessions and then like integrating that is so powerful. And then you'll be like, why did I ever think that way? What? Like things, it's your like brain gets rewired too. And there's all kinds, oh my God, there's all kinds of modalities with that. There are people that, specialize, I don't think of the word, in like subconscious reprogramming or even pro tip, if you don't feel like investing that much right now as far as like repetition with things, like recording your own voice and like recording like affirmations or like things you want to work on, but like in the I am, don't add negative words. Because God, source, the universe is not going to hear that. It's going to be like, if you're like, I don't want to be poor. Like, I want to be poor. Like, we just need to, I am wealthy. And you need to put it in that tense and like repeating these things to yourself. And rewiring those neural pathways in your brain, essentially. And you could have, I mean, everyone's freaking different. You could have a situation where, like, you know, maybe the root cause of your, you know, relationship with money right now is because when you were a child, everything got taken away from you and you're afraid of that happening again. Or in a past life, maybe you were an adult and everything got taken away from you or something to that effect. Like I said, there could be, and those are things you can find out in the Akashic Records. You can have a session, which I also provide those, and say, what is the root cause of XYZ? And then we can dive into it. We can try to, you know, clear out any of that energy that you no longer need and like what you need to do instead and how you can integrate new thoughts and new affirmations surrounding those things moving forward. Because at the end of the day, it's really about embodying, you know, that version of yourself who you want to be, but peeling back all the layers of conditioning, especially it depends, you know, like depending on your age too, you might have gone through a lifetime of shit already that you really just need to peel back. And that one, I mean, that could take a little bit of time. And maybe that, you know, like opening some of those doors makes you a little nervous too. Another good one, like talk therapy, even though, I mean, like that's not in our mystical spiritual realm, but I think that can open the door to new ideas of maybe looking at yourself in a different light as well, because I think we miss a lot of our own shit sometimes because we don't see it because we're like used to it and blah, blah, blah. So, like, tons of different ways to decondition, to do shadow work. And that can be something that's ongoing, like your whole life. It's not like I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to spend 2 years and we're going to really decondition and do all this shadow work and blah, blah, blah. No, it's like, it's just like an ongoing journey to you becoming, you know, this fulfilled version of yourself. You don't want to spend your whole time doing that or you're going to lose your fucking mind. You gotta, you know, incorporate that and then like incorporate those things you're passionate about and those action steps. And it's like, okay, like we're enjoying the journey. Like I'm gonna just hit on it all the time. It's like the here and now. Like I'm sitting here recording a podcast on a Friday morning, having a good old time. Like this is my life. And I'm so grateful to be here. And finally, in this moment, there was a version of me not long ago, 3 years ago, that was, oh my gosh, frustrated and, you know, didn't want to be at her job anymore and blah, 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 blah. You've heard the story. If not, go listen to a different episode. I can probably link my shortened life story onto it. But in order to get here, by trusting myself and start, you know, doing the deconditioning and just like, I feel like it's almost like once you start doing it, it just keeps getting a little better. And there's always going to be something. There's always going to be lessons to learn. Like that's why we're here, to live life, have fun, grow and learn these lessons. But then yeah, like on this journey of self-healing and self-growth, it's so beautiful. Like it's a great journey to be on. And you want everyone in your life to be on it too, but they might not be. And it's not your job to, you know, make them do that. You can tell them about what you're doing. That's probably the biggest way that, hi Goose. Goose Goose. Hi buddy. That's probably the biggest way that people, hi buddy. What do I want to say? Learn or like want to do make changes in their life is when they see people in their actual life like completely different or like they're like, wow, she's really happy. Like, what is she doing? How did she get there? And that's when you can start to, you know, maybe trigger it for other people by just being yourself and just like being in the now, being yourself, trusting yourself. embodying your design. Heart. I have these little pillars of Rewild, and these are things that I'm going to bring with me into my teachings and my mentorships and things like that. But embodying your design, your cosmic blueprint. We have a fucking cheat sheet, and it is, I don't know if maybe cheat sheet's not the word, but like blueprint. Basically, it's like, oh, look, here's your natal chart. Oh, like, here's your natal chart. I have mine framed, of course, you guys, duh. And then where, this can tell you so much. Like, it is wild. Oh my gosh. And my other favorite thing, oh, I'm just not. Your human design. I also have that framed. Duh. Guys, come on now. But arguably, one of the most important things for me through this, deconditioning and integrating new things was learning my design and my astrology. You kind of always like growing up, you're like, oh, I'm a Libra, like I'm a sun sign, blah, blah, blah. It is so much more than that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It is so much more. And looking at, all the different houses and planets. Oh my gosh, that's another episode in itself. But I really want to touch on like human design too. Personally for me, that has changed a lot. Knowing I am a manifestor energy type just fucking made so much sense. And I spent so many years frustrated and angry and like, oh man, I don't, but just like knowing that I was so different and not like anyone else. And I didn't know why. And like, just still, I never trusted myself. And I just went along with what everyone else was doing or advice I had taken from, people who didn't necessarily know my situation or anything. Oh my gosh, what just happened, you guys? I got a little emotional about that one. But I feel so empowered now. Oh my God, my energy type, that's what it is. That makes sense. I feel like for non-sacral beings, so if you are a manifestor, projector, or a reflector, it kind of hits home a little different because we live in a society that is very much like sacral energy, and like generators or are rewarded and like, let's just keep going. And my generator friends are the powerhouses and they are amazing, but they say yes to too many things a lot of the time, which is just like part of their deconditioning too. Deep breath. But if you're listening to this and you don't know your type, go look it up. Go look it up when you're done with this. It is so important. And from there, oh my gosh, you can learn so much. And then really starting to integrate those things. I mean, it can take some time and over weeks, your strategy, your inner authority, like knowing your not self-theme, and oh my gosh, your signature. I was just thinking of what mine actually were, and I was like, no. Like, as a manifester, if you were angry, there is something not in alignment. And if you're feeling more at peace, it's like, okay, this is good. We don't have to necessarily switch anything up. And I'm really passionate about that. I'm getting very much interested in gene keys as well. I definitely see some more learning in my future with that to, help incorporate with my own readings for others. And really, at the end of the day, I just want women to feel empowered, like their life is in a flow, like they're not pushing things, like they can, rest when they need and not feel some type of way, and goodness. But it's important to start to learn and integrate your cosmic blueprint because, I mean, it's there for a reason. And how lucky are we to have that information at our fingertips? Anyways, last thing I wanted to touch on was really just, once you've got that self-trust and you're like working, you're living the journey, you're having some fun, you're like, God, this is really working for me. Like, I feel more at flow and at ease. And you just kind of like, you don't really have to try, but you start expanding into that 5D consciousness, which I believe I have an episode on that. I will look in my notes. If I do, I will link it. But as I kind of said earlier, just like getting out of that lack mentality, just like the, you know, everyone's for themselves, and just moving towards more of this, like, it just feels good. It's just more like unity and love and trust and knowing that there's abundance everywhere, and what is meant for you will find its way to you, or something better that you couldn't have even imagined. And that's going to make for a pretty cool fucking world. Like when people are embodying their design, they're feeling good. They know when they need to take breaks, and that's okay. They know what lights them up, and they're following those passions, and they're getting paid to do stuff that they love. And I know there are definitely people out there that are like embodying that now, and you can see it, and it's amazing. And it's like, yes, 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 let's all get to there. So that's part of my why, kind of how Rewild came about, and how I want to really see it moving forward. I'm just so grateful and excited about it, and I can't wait to see where it goes, because yeah, it's going to be better than I imagined. And I'm so grateful for you to be here on my journey with me. If you enjoyed this, please, please, please share it. It means the world to me. Rate the show if you haven't. Subscribe, because we are just going to keep coming back with some bold and juicy shit. So, and hopefully not too much crying, but you know what? We're being vulnerable, and I'm a real human being. So that's what happens. And I'm emotional. I have an open emotional center. And like, nobody's around for me. That was just my own little energy. Anyways, tangent again. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you so much, and we will talk to you soon.